This is Dad to Dad.
Boy, it's been a long time since we've had the little father-son chat.
Just a couple dads talking to other dads about dad shit.
I have a very particular set of skills that make me a nightmare for people like you.
Oh, yeah! You put your right foot in, you take your right foot out, you do the hokey and you work it all out.
Daddy's really sorry about what he said in the other room.
Daddy shouldn't waste his time.
And now, your hosts and dads, Wynton Yates and Antoine Harris.
I am your father.
Dad gang!
Alright guys, it's another episode of the Dad to Dad show. I'm your host, Wynton Yates.
Antoine Harris.
And today, I'm going to give you my personal top 8 list of things that every dad needs to know before experience actual childbirth.
I can dig that.
You are tuned in to the Dad to Dad show with Wynton Yates and Antoine Harris.
Okay, so childbirth. We know this is like the pinnacle of pregnancy. It's game time. This is what you've been prepping for. This is what you've been preparing for. This is everything that you've been looking towards since you found out you were pregnant. All right, bro. I want your honest reaction to my list. Tell me if you agree. Tell me if you disagree. Tell me how you feel about it. Tell me if you've experienced these things.
I will do it.
You ready?
I'm an open book.
Let's get into it. All right, so I'm gonna start from number 1 and go to number 10.
Go for it.
I like to do it different. Number 1, and this is like in no particular order. This is not like number 1 as like this is my number.
Right.
This is just like the first one.
It's just chronologically right now.
This is just how I wrote it down.
I'm with it.
Be willing to abandon ship. Now, when I say abandon ship, I mean abandon the birth plan. So you've been preparing for 9 months. You've been prepping. You've been rehearsing. You've been thinking out the process. You've been saying, this is what we want to happen. This is how we want it to happen. These are the steps we're gonna take to make it happen. But it doesn't always go that way.
Very true.
The baby's gonna come when they want and how they want. Okay. What do you think?
I think you're absolutely correct. I think there needs to be wiggle room within the plan.
Right.
Nothing always goes according to plan, but I don't think that you need to be so stuck on one lane that you can't put on the blinker and get over to the next one just to go around.
And that was exactly my point. I want people, like dads, just get comfortable with the idea of being flexible. I just don't want people to get caught up in like, we have this plan, we have to do this plan, because I feel like you'll get caught up, you'll get emotional, you'll get like upset that everything's not going to plan, and then you're just gonna like miss the experience, the miracle of like what's actually happening around you, right? Like you get 100%. So caught up and upset about like, we wanted it to go this way and it's not going that way.
100%.
So just get comfortable with being flexible.
Get comfortable with not being comfortable.
Boom, hit the nail on the head. Number 2, your wife is probably gonna poop on the table.
And by that you mean
literally poop on the table. Like this is a subject that nobody wants to talk about, but it's real. It's real. It's science. It's real. Just get comfortable with the fact that your wife is gonna poop. And this honestly is probably something that she's thinking about. She's probably terrified of like pooping in front of you and the doctor and everybody else in the room. It's a real concern for women.
Are there like stats on that? And I ask because I feel like as I'm rocking, I feel like Jack didn't poop but had some serious gas.
Rosie did not, but it was definitely a concern. And it's not a unique concern.
But you're doing so much pushing.
I've got some science
like
to back you up.
The dookie's gonna flow. You know what I'm saying?
I've got some science to back you up. So the reason that there's a good chance that they're gonna poop on the table is because the muscles that they're engaging to push are the same muscles that they engage for a bowel movement. So it's not a different set of muscles that they're using. They're using the same muscles to do it, right?
Right.
You also have to keep in mind that they're pushing out a 5 to 8 pound child out of their vagina, and this is putting pressure on their colon and their rectum, so everything in there has got to move.
Yeah,
it's got to move out of the way. So it's just science. And if it happens, it happens. It's really not a big deal.
And we definitely want to hear your poop on the table story, please. I'm serious. I want to hear where it happened. Yeah, I just think, she had to let one blow, but I don't think it was like, it wasn't like that.
But it's like it's a legitimate concern for women. I mean, I understand the thought process of like being afraid that you're gonna poop. But
and this is why they glam themselves up so much so that they don't look crazy when they have to give birth. But it's like, just forget about that. Look how pretty I am giving birth.
That's funny. Real quick, we're gonna take a quick break. I'm gonna come back with the rest of our list. We'll be back.
It's interesting.
Strollers, car seats, and even bottle warmers. We review it all in Baby Tech Time. Follow us on YouTube to see the latest in baby tech products.
All right, guys, welcome back. Remember, follow us on Twitter, Dad2Dad Show.
Instagram.
Follow us on Instagram, Dad2Dad Show. Follow us on Facebook,
Dad2Dad Show.
This is the place that you can get involved in all of the conversations, including the one that we're having today, to let us know. Let me know if there's something that was on your list.
Joined us.
Say hi.
Hey, Mama.
You just want to be involved.
She does. As we pause for the call.
Here, go put on some clothes, girl.
So, Wynton and I were talking about his top 8 things to know before childbirth. So we got through number 1, which was...
Number 1, be flexible.
Number 2 was...
Don't be afraid to abandon ship. Number 2, your wife is probably going to poop on the table. Just know that.
Good
Understand that. Accept it.
Move on with it. Trust me, they are trained professionals to clean it up, and you won't know.
And in the grand
much.
scheme of things, what's happening is like you're having a child, which is like the greatest thing ever. Somebody pooping on the table is like the last thing you should be worried about.
Basically, yeah.
All right. Number 3, your wife is probably going to snap on you at some point during this birthing process.
Oh, yeah.
Don't take it personal. That's my number 3 advice.
That's true.
Don't take it personal. That in itself is pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Like, what else can I say about it? You did this to her.
It was a willing. It was.
I know. You can come. You just got to go put on some clothes first. She's not putting her feet down.
But here's the other thing. When you talk about she may or may not, go off, you got to understand that childbirthing process is sometimes very arduous and long.
Yes. Long.
I don't feel like ours was very long, but it got to the point where I'm like, all right, like, can some things start moving so that we can get going? Because it's, as a man, as her husband, I was actually a little uncomfortable because I see my wife kind of going through like a very uncomfortable experience that I can't nurture her on, which I'm already not great at nurturing anyway. So now I'm just like a brick wall. So I can't say that Jack went off on me, but I can say that her patience definitely was growing a little thin.
Right. Same.
For a lot of different things.
And our experience was very smooth. It was probably the smoothest process ever. Hey, girl. You want to show everybody your outfit? Not now. Now that you have clothes on.
She'll be back.
Our process was probably one of the smoother processes, but still that frustration level was there. It's uncomfortable. It's painful.
Yeah.
It hurts.
Yeah.
So your wife is probably going to snap at you at some point. Just don't take it personal. Like she's going through something very painful and frustrating and hard.
And personal.
Yeah. I mean, she's got a lot of people in her personal space.
Yeah, she does.
Very personal space.
Yeah.
Including a person that's trying to come out of her personal space. So if you get snapped on, just roll with it. Accept it. Say,
get out your feelings. It's like,
Thank
dude,
you.
don't be emotional.
Right.
It's enough of that with her.
So number 4, don't feel guilty about the type of birth you choose. So natural birth, water birth, home birth, birth with an epidural, etc. There's so many different types of births that I feel like people, other parents, other couples are judgy to other couples because they didn't do it the same way, or they didn't do a specific type, or they didn't do it natural. F all that noise. Like, do what is comfortable for you, do what works for you and your wife, and don't feel guilty about it, because it doesn't matter. Like, that's your kid. As long as they're healthy,
I agree,
and you're happy and they're happy.
I definitely agree, and I think I think the way we went into it is she wanted to just do natural because of whatever she read and whatever she was told.
Right.
And then at some point it got to the point where she just couldn't take it, got the shot. Whereas she has been told, or she was told, get the shot from the beginning.
Yeah.
Get the process going early. So I think
modern medicine.
Right. I think that's it. It's one of those, like, you got to go through it. You got to learn. You got to experience it before you actually really know what to do. So I almost can guarantee on the second round, whenever that is, she may just get the shot up front and be like, how do we speed this up?
Right.
But,
I mean, for this one, if you want to do a water birth, do a water birth.
right.
And don't
She
care.
just had a friend who, and you were there, as you remember, when Shanika was on from Labor and Love.
Yeah.
And Shanika, they did a natural birth, water birth, I believe.
Yeah.
She said it was quick, just like that. So again, every situation
You just
is
got to
different.
do
but
what works for you. Yeah.
Yeah, you definitely. The worst thing you can do is make another parent feel like trash for how they wanted to go through their process.
Right.
And
Exactly.
and I would never go after somebody for how they decided to do their birth.
Right. No matter what. No matter what. Okay.
A
So the
little
next
boxer.
one is, I know, she's going after this thing. The next one is, if you've never seen a childbirth, you ain't ready. You're not ready. And I say that because my experience with it was great. I was all up in there. I was there for the entire process. But if you haven't seen one, you're not ready. My first time seeing one was in health class in middle school. It was a video called The Miracle of Life.
Yeah.
It was super gruesome. It was like the most terrible thing I've ever seen in my life. I swore I'd never have children after watching this because it was just so bad. And it was totally different when I actually experienced it. It was beautiful. It was not this chaotic, crazy thing, which I'm sure there are some experiences that are that.
Oh yeah. Ours was where you were right there. I was right in my wife's face. I don't know. This goes back to like me and my whole. I think I'm conservative about some things.
Did you not want to like?
I cut the umbilical cord. I helped every way I could. I just did not go down there and look. I concentrated on my beautiful wife's face and was just like push, push, push. It was just like at the beginning of Biggie Smalls' Ready to Die album. You can push. You're almost there. Like that whole scene played out. You know what I'm saying?
See,
I didn't look. I did not do it.
I was back and forth. I was like with her. I was like, okay, you got it. Boom. Mm-hmm. And then I was back down at the bottom, and I was in there with the doctor. Like, okay, what's happening? What's this? What's going on? It was really interesting, just like to see the process of. Yeah, if I wasn't afraid that I was gonna mess something up, I would been like, yo, can I catch her? But it was just I think there are dads that are a little more squeamish than others. That
maybe that's it.
That would probably not be a good idea, and like them passing out is a very real thing. But I think as much as you feel like you can see, experience. I think you should look as much as you can.
Yeah.
I think you would regret not at least trying to see what the process looks like.
I want to say my dad did. We have a photo album. My mom has it right now. It'll probably be passed on to me and my brother, but it's everything for both of us, for me and my brother. And so I'm pretty sure my dad took those pictures. I think he was right there. Me personally, maybe I grew up on number 2 when that comes.
Yeah.
But man, I am still like, everybody should have their own privacy, man. I'm not there. I'm not yet.
But I think just in general, before we take a quick break, I think in general for this rule, if you haven't seen one, do some research.
Watch the video, The Miracle of Life.
It doesn't necessarily have to be that one because we're in the age of technology. It's out there. You can find resources to like check it out and see what natural childbirth looks like, water birth, C-section. Like you can see what all of these things look like before you get in there and like
you're right.
It hits you and then you're like, oh no, whoa.
It's definitely not like a Jason movie.
No,
some people have these crazy renditions. It's fine.
Yeah.
I just need to grow up.
But all right, we're going to take a quick break and then I'll come back and we'll give you the last, what are we on, the last 3? 6, 7, and 8? Yeah, we're on the last 3.
That's it.
So we'll be right back.
Yeah, we're dads, but that doesn't mean we're not hip.
I'm cool, Dad. That's my thing. I'm hip. I surf the web. I text.
We're cool, and we can prove it. Follow us on Instagram at Dad to Dad Show.
All right, we're back. Remember, if you want to chime in, you want to be a part of this conversation, give us some things that you think I should add to the list, hit us up. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, Gmail, all of it.
That's true. Dad
to Dad Show. Dad, the number 2 show. Dad to Dad Show. And you can talk to us. So we'll pick up. Let's do a recap. Let's do it like ESPN. They always do the recap.
Right.
Number 1, be willing to abandon ship. Now, when I say abandon ship, abandon the birth plan or deviate from the birth plan. Not necessarily abandon it completely. Be flexible. Number 2, your wife is probably going to poop on the table. So just accept that. It's science. It's natural. And it's kind of expected because you got a 5 to 8 pound child coming out of the
nether regions.
So just know that may happen and accept it. Number 3, your wife will probably snap on you, so don't take it personal.
That's right.
You did this to her.
That's very true. Very, very true.
Number 4, don't feel guilty about the birth that you choose, whether it be natural, water birth, home birth, birth with an epidural, birth without.
And don't shame anyone for not doing it like you.
Boom. I'm glad you added that to that.
Not what parents do nowadays.
Not your kid, not your choice.
Have jokes in a different way, but don't come after how people gave birth. That's
right.
How it works.
Exactly. Number 5. If you've never seen a childbirth, do some research and go see one. Whether it's natural, whether it's C-section, water birth, whatever you choose, try to experience it in the visual format. When we took a break, my wife informed me that you can actually find childbirthing videos on Instagram. So if you have time, check them out.
If that's your preference of how you want to use that in
check
your
it out.
search bar, you go for it.
Check it out. I think you should check it out before.
I guess Snapchat would probably offer that too then, right?
I don't know.
It's like 10 seconds. It's about all you need, so
number 6, this kind of plays on what you were saying earlier. Number 6 is you're going to feel powerless. Accept it.
Yeah.
You're going to feel helpless. You're going to feel powerless. You're going to see your partner going through possibly the worst pain that they've ever felt, ever. And again, you caused it. So try your best to kind of put those feelings aside. Put them to the side as best you can so that you can be a better support system in that moment to help them get through this painful situation. Because it's easy to let that like feeling of helplessness consume you and kind of get you retract into it and not be there and experience the moment. Kind of try to, you're going to feel, it's going to be there. You're going to feel powerless. You're going to feel helpless. And you were saying you kind of felt that.
I guess I felt as if there wasn't much I could do because obviously she was the one going through the issue,
right?
Through the ordeal. What I did do at some point to cope is I took a walk. It got late. It was close to midnight, and I was like, you know what, man, I'm gone. Oh no, yeah. It was close. That's right. It was close to midnight. And I was just like, you know what, I'm gonna take a walk. I'll walk to the parking garage. I just kind of was in my own little zone.
Yeah.
Came back, I was right there. I had to get a second wind. So don't be afraid to just gather your own bearings, because it's a very intense process. I'm not saying all bad. It's just intense.
It's a lot going on. It's your life is changing. Everything's going on all at
Yeah.
once. But that's a good segue into number 7. Labor takes time. Be ready for the long haul. Now, everybody's journey is different. Sorry if I just made the mic sound weird. Everybody's journey is different. There are some labor and deliveries that are like 30 minutes. It's quick. Baby drops out. It's good. You're good to go. There are some labors that take tens of hours. And it just takes forever. Ours was, we got to the hospital at 10:30. And then Ryan was born at 6:30, 7:30. Kind of in that window.
So it was like that many hours after.
Right. So it wasn't long. It wasn't the longest, but it was, the process of like sitting there and waiting. It's a hurry up and wait situation because you hurry up and get there just to wait for the baby to be ready to come out. So just be ready. I mean, you have to mentally be ready that you're going to be there. It's not comfortable for anybody. It's definitely not comfortable for your wife. Mm-hmm. You're not going to be comfortable at all because the sofas or the chairs there are not made for long distance.
Man, comfort is not what they're for.
No.
Yeah, we went in, at some point that night. Went throughout the night, went into the next day. Anya wasn't born until 11:29 the very next day, that night. So it was well over 24 hours for us. It was about 25, 26 hours.
Yeah.
But it wasn't all uncomfortable pain. Well, I can't say that. It wasn't all like yelling, screaming, and all dramatic.
Right.
But we were at the hospital, for I believe 2.5 days. Well, 3 days really with the whole birth.
Yeah.
Her going into labor and it just felt like forever.
Yeah.
And hospital food is not the biz, man. And
our hospital food was actually not bad.
Ours, I think
not bad.
We were ordering out, But we were at Oshner Baptist, so you had like Superior Seafood down the street, Superior, the taco joint. So we had options, but. Yeah, definitely. You know what, man? Pack an overnight bag. Pack a few days worth of clothes. Try to limit any leaving of the hospital. Like literally, it needs to be where you are over the next certain amount of hours. So just anything you can do to not leave.
I mean, and even if you pack for like a day, 2 days worth of stuff, and then you're only there, the birth is that quick. Yeah, I mean, you were ready. You were prepared.
You just but you make a very good point, man, and that is just be prepared. It can be it's going to be a life-changing situation, boy. That's for sure.
Another good segue into number 8, life-changing. Number 8, and my wife is probably going to laugh out loud when I say this. Don't be afraid to be emotional. As she glares at me from off screen.
Did you cry?
I did. And that's the crazy part is I generally I don't cry. Not in like a manly, like, I don't cry. It's just like I don't get that emotional to the point where I cry. She's literally seen me cry once.
I've been knowing you for about 3 years and you're pretty cold. So this is serious.
I have no response to that because it's the only time she's ever seen me cry,
right?
And it's the only crying that I remember in recent time.
But that's a good moment.
It's a great. Like, it's not about being like manly in that moment. It's not about like thinking people in the room are gonna think you're weak in any way. It's just like. Let the emotions happen. Like let it go. Let it roll.
I'm sure they've seen worse.
Oh man, I'm sure.
I, however, did not cry.
No?
Yeah, I have a hard time with emotions, and my wife would be the first to admit that. I did not cry. I was more in shock. I was just like, whoa.
You were stunned. Okay. Yeah.
It was like, dude, but it just kept going like the whole time.
Yeah.
And I still have the pictures. From the first time holding her, I still have those pictures, and you can see it on my face, and I'm just like...
You were just like, shook.
You know that Keanu Reeves meme when he's just like hair everywhere, and he's like...
You were shook it.
Yeah, I was like that the whole time. So, but I didn't cry, man. I was looking for those emotions, but those suckers were repressed, man.
See, and I didn't think I would. I honestly did not think I would, and then it just happened.
Yeah.
It was just like it just happened. I don't know. Bro. I'm not ashamed, but I mean, that's
right.
like I think that would be like my biggest advice. It's just like
that's a good. I will
embrace
agree.
the emotion of what's happening.
That's a good time to cry. That one's okay. You know, in the middle of like Star Wars movie, Luke is killed off.
No, actually,
you know what?
Now that you said that, I do remember the last time I cried before that.
It was a movie, right? Do you tell this?
End of Watch.
That's right. The
end of that movie.
End of Watch
got me a little
sad,
bit.
man.
It got me. And I found out it was his best friend. I was like,
End of Watch was sad. They tugged at some strings for that.
Yeah.
You know.
So End of Watch and the birth of my child.
And birth of Ryan. Oh my god.
I get shit every time we have this conversation because I didn't cry at our wedding. And I try to explain it was just because I was so excited that I wasn't like in a crying space. I was in more of like an excitement space. But she wanted like, the videos that be on like Facebook of a guy, he'd be like, ooh, and they'd be like, oh, he's just so emotional about his queen. Like I was emotional just in like an excited way.
I'm with you. My wife swears I cried. She swears I teared up. Man, let me tell you something. I was in Jamaica.
Did. If you did, it's okay.
I was in Jamaica. Who wouldn't cry when they're in Jamaica? It was amazing.
Neither do we. That's why we bring in the experts.
All right, guys. That was the show. That was it. That was the top 8. We could do a recap real quick. Number 1, be willing to be flexible. We'll change it a little bit. Be willing to be flexible. Number 2.
Your wife is probably going to poop on the table. Get ready.
So just accept that. Number 3, your wife is probably also going to snap on you. Don't take it personal.
No, probably about it.
Yep. Number 4, don't feel guilty about the type of birth you choose. True. And don't make other people feel.
Yeah. Don't shame other people for the way they, the birth they decided on. Don't be that family.
Everybody's birthing is their own journey. Number 5, if you've never seen a childbirth, you probably need to see one before you go in there. So go on Instagram. Apparently you can find them on there. Go on Instagram and look them up.
It's a real thing, yes.
Just check it out. Just look. You need to see it before you go and do some research. Number 6, you're gonna feel powerless. You're gonna feel helpless. Just accept it. Move those feelings to the side. Try to be as supportive of a partner as you possibly can.
Turn that negative energy into something positive.
Yep. Number 7, labor takes time. Be ready for the long haul. Everybody's journey is different. Some are quick, some are long. Just be ready for long. It's the best way. Best
Very good list.
And number 8, our favorite one, don't be afraid to be emotional.
Yeah. Or at least, if you internalize all your emotions, at least express gratitude. Be thankful that you could be a part of the process. This is me giving off gratitude.
Yeah, I like that. So don't be afraid to show some gratitude. Your wife, your partner is doing something incredible. So don't be afraid if you get emotional. Just let it flow.
Go for it.
So remember, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, anywhere that podcast can be heard. You can find us. Dad to Dad Show. Hit us up. You can be a part of the conversation. And also don't forget to send us your recommendations, your nominations for the Dad of the Day. Somebody you think is just a great dad, kind of epitomizes what dads should look like, be like, something we all could learn somebody that we could learn something from.
That's right. Not to mention topics, baby products, anything that you may want us to review, let us know. Or if you have a review you want us to play for the world, we will most likely do it. Just send it to us. And again, it's at dadtodadshow@gmail.com. And then, of course, all of the same on social media.
So we'll see you guys next time.
Next one.
Yeah.
Deuces.